it's all about number 12. V12, 1200 horsepower, 1200 kilograms, 1200 newton meters of torque, and the price is 1.2 million.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Car Chat podcast. I'm Sam Moores, and with me today I have Viktor Engler. Hello.
Hi Sam.
Hi, welcome. Can you tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Viktor Engler, and I'm a founder and CEO of Engler Automotive. We are, let's say, car manufacturer, if we can call our products cars. We manufacture Superquads. These are the vehicles which are so unique that they fall into no known category. So we have to create our own, and we call it Superquad. So there is like you have a estate or a convertible or a sedan. Then you have a new category called Superquad, which has only one member or which is us. Yeah, but I hope that other brands will join us hopefully one day soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I heard that the new similar vehicle is being made somewhere.
Oh really?
So I'm looking forward. Yeah, I just talked to somebody. I was in the one car show, and somebody approached me and said, "I like what you do, and we're trying to do the same." So he showed me some pictures. It looked different, but same thing, like same idea. So we'll see. Maybe one day if they will survive.
Do a drag race of the two Superquads.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah. I would like to see it. If somebody will copy us, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So how did you get into this? Where did this journey begin?
When I was a small kid, maybe about 10 or so, we had I used to live. I'm from Slovakia originally, so there was like a communism in that time. And one of the beauties of communism in the school, we had thing which was called compulsory reading. That means that the teacher chose one book, any book, and he told everybody which book should read. They told you will read this book, and your deadline is, let's say, 2 weeks or 1 month.
Yeah,
I was the only one who read the book, but different one. Yeah, I found the book which was like a story about Ferruccio Lamborghini. And I found it somewhere in our house. I don't know how it got there. It just because my parents, they're not like car people. Maybe somebody forget it there or lost it or whatever. Yeah. It was a tiny book, A5 format, maybe 50, 80 pages, not much. I read it like 20 times, So I was talking about my book, my story, but nobody knew what I'm talking about. So that was the first time I got in touch with the car manufacturer, and I knew then that one day I will make cars, sports cars, supercars, the world's fastest cars. And many children have these dreams, but when we grow, these dreams just fade away, and we get normal job and settle down. Luckily, with me, it was different. I had a proper job. I had some businesses. I had a building company in the UK. One of my many things I did. Mm-hmm. But I was always thinking one day I must do this. I must start my car business. And I was there like when for example, Koenigsegg, Christian von Koenigsegg started. I think it's 30 years this year they celebrated.
Wow.
I remember when they really started. I remember the first prototype. I was like 14 maybe.
Yeah.
And I knew, this is I wish this guy will survive, and he will become one day the one really like a car brand, and then. Rest is the history. So, and then I was following him, and also Mr. Pagani. He was also. I was following him. He was just starting then. They both started the time. Like Pagani and Koenigsegg were the two people or brands I was looking up to. I mean, I knew I want to be like them one day. And I remember I was about 14, 13 when they both started in a similar time. And but then if I'm not from a car background, I'm not from rich family, and one of the things if you want to realize this business is the money. You need money. You can dream, you can have nice ideas, but without the money you won't make them. So I was doing different things, mostly some businesses. When I made some money in England, I had a building company which I sold later. So I came home with some money. So I say I want to build the cars. Yeah, but I was just starting. I found some friends who were some of them a little bit from the business, some of them not at all, but we rented some workshop and started to build that thing. It cost me all the remaining money I had, and I showed pictures somewhere, and somebody called me and said, I'm aerodynamic, and you don't build that car, because if you build that, if you go over 200, you will fly, or you will take off. Exactly opposite of what the supercar should do.
You're like, okay,
there
come talk to me.
So we talked with that guy for a few years. We still sometimes call each other. We don't work together, but we are became a little bit friends. Yeah. So then we started back to drawing board, and I spent 2 years with looking for money for investors. Of course, it was very hard because I had a friend who was architect, and he was doing a car design as a hobby. So he drew first sketches of what is our current Engler Desat. So we had drawing sketches. We did some visuals. Whatever money we had, we spent for creating pictures of the real car, which wasn't then real yet. And I was looking for investors. Of course, nobody really cared because it was somebody unknown coming with the pictures or drawings.
Yeah,
give me $500,000, give me $2 million, I'll build this, and we build crazy money, and everybody was just whatever. But somehow I made some money from some business, and we did it ourselves. We built a prototype, not functioning, but with the engine and the wheels and everything. And that was in 2019 when in Geneva we introduced that. And I think it was about 2 years ago. I was in Geneva Motor Show. And I was obviously, of course, I was admiring Koenigsegg's.
Yeah.
And somehow I got there for a press day. Normally you cannot get there for a first press day. Somebody gave me a ticket or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's nice to go on the press day.
Yeah. But I was visitor, regular nobody,
Yeah.
And I was standing in front of his stand for 6 hours. So obviously, if somebody's in front of your stand for 6 hours, you want to know who the guy is, And that was a year or two before we went to Geneva. And Christian von Koenigsegg told me, I told him what I do, what I want to do. Obviously, he was not mad with me because I'm not his competition.
Yeah.
And he told me, you have to come to Geneva. Whatever you want to do, whatever is your plan, you have to come to Geneva and things will change for you. I said, yeah, but it's expensive. I have no money. And he said, doesn't matter. Kill somebody, sell your liver, just rob the bank, just come here somehow. So 2 years later, I get there. Then it was a problem to get there, even if you had the money, because Geneva was really, really show which was on a higher level, and they didn't let anybody in. Even if you come, I built this car, I wouldn't go in. They wanted to see what you do, and they might tell you no, which happened to me in 2018.
Was that quite a process to apply to exhibit? Or how does that bit work? Because I have no idea.
Normally, you just contact them, tell them what you do, what you want to exhibit. You show them whatever you want to do. I mean, now last years you can even build a wooden car. And
it's gone.
Desperate now. But then, and first in 2018 they said there's no space for me, but it was space because in 2017-18 Geneva started to go down. So I was going there for 4 or 5 years before. And you could see every year the corridors are bigger and bigger and bigger. That means there are less and less stands. I remember first time I went there, and there were 700,000 visitors during the entire show. And if you want to go to the toilet, forget it. You can't go there because it was so crowded. It was like you 1 hour to get to the toilet. Really, it was horrible.
Yeah.
So when I get there in 2019, that mean it was crazy expensive. I think my stand was the smallest. It was about 50, 60 square meters. It cost crazy money. It cost me around 100,000 euro, everything together. Wow. The stand itself was about 70, and then the rest.
Yeah.
But we get money from this. We had some sponsors and partners and stuff. But we came there to Geneva 2019, and Christian was right. The things changed. Really, people started to approach us. We sold the first vehicle on the day one.
Oh, nice.
And there was a customer from Saudi Arabia. He just they told me when you do this speech, you introduce your brand. Don't be longer than 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
I was done in 3. It's like first sex. That's it. 3 minutes done. Yeah. And there was a guy from Saudi Arabia, and he was like, I was talking for 1 minute. He was like, come on, hurry, please, hurry. So I finished. He also stressed me a bit. And then he told me he wanted to buy it. So, and he He was there with the card, Like, where
Oh
can I
yeah,
make a
you're like
deposit? Yeah, I didn't have a card reader,
here.
nothing. Yeah, and I think he bought the Bugatti Divo,
Okay.
and he showed me the receipt. He paid with his card,
Oh,
really,
nice.
really huge deposit. So then
Oof.
I see, oh, this guy is serious. He just paid a few
That's a
hundred
punchy
thousand
payment on a card. I mean, I
on the
guess
car. I mean, my car limit then was like 500 euro. He spent like, I don't know, over
a couple
1
of
million
million or
euro with the
whatever.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 5 million was the car, I think, or 3 million. I don't remember. Devo now is 10 million. It was like 4 million then. I don't remember. He paid
And
like
then
half of it with the card. He showed me the receipt. I just bought the
and
Bugatti Divo. I say, congratulations. And then he showed me the receipt. So, yeah,
nice.
so that was the
And
first customer.
he probably went and bought a bunch of other stuff as well. Big
Yeah, he
day.
said,
Big day.
he said, I just started shopping, it's my first car today. I say, good one.
So when you decided, okay, I'm going to make a really fast quad bike, did you start? So where did you start from? Because presumably you didn't well, maybe you did just go, okay, I'm going to buy a racing quad or something and go, let's put 700 horsepower in that. Like that sounds like a recipe for straight death.
Yeah. It's like a motorbike. Everybody say, it's so dangerous, your quad bike. Yeah, it's still safer than a motorbike. You have 4 wheels, You can go in the rain, you can go in the snow if you dress properly. Yeah. The idea, after the first quad bike, which has capacity abilities of the plane, we created the other one. Yeah, again, I made some money and I bought for my last money used Audi R8. Yeah, because I knew I want to use this engine. The other decision was what powertrain to use. So I was thinking, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, whatever. And then I say, let's do Audi R8 because it's also Lamborghini. It's engine which is you can get it easy and cheap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap, but out of there was the cheapest one.
Yeah.
And it's really reliable. It's good. I drove this car before. The transmission over there is excellent. It's like really. It's a great. More you beat it, better it goes. I don't want to be vulgar, but it's comparing like you have really. Yeah. So that was a decision. Then we bought the R8, a really cheap one with about 80 or 100,000 kilometers, but it was still about 60,000 euro. We put it all apart completely, engine out, seats out, everything out, and then we say, okay, let's cut it somehow, And then then I said, later we forgot to use the camera because imagine somebody on the YouTube cutting R8 into pieces, but he wants to make something out of it. He doesn't know what. But we didn't cut it at the end because we realized soon that it's not very good because if you cut it, then the stability will be different and so on. So I sold it, dismantled for about 30K, half the price to the friend.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and there was also a funny story because I was selling it as dismantled, and I get some calls mostly from Germany because I advertise it also on a German website. And many people ask me for a VIN number. So I give them a VIN number, and the guy who bought the car, he put it back together. He went to register the car, and the car was reported stolen. But I bought it from the car dealer. But when I was advertising it in Germany, the car thieves stole. They sold the car after accident, so nobody knew this car will ever be alive again.
Yeah.
So probably they had some stolen Audi R8, and they used my VIN to register that car
to rebuild it.
And that car was become stolen in Germany, but the European system communicates, so that VIN number was in a search. So when he came to register the car, they put the VIN number in. The police came. They just put him in the jail for 2 days. Really bad. Yeah, about a week or 2 weeks later, they found out that it's not his fault. They gave him a car back, and everything was fine. But it was really, I caused so much trouble with that car.
It's a stressful 48 hours.
Yeah. I sold it for a good price, and the guy, he get the massive discount, but spent 2 days in prison. Yeah, so then we decided to build it. Then I stopped, and I spent about 2 years searching for investors. Seriously, yeah, we had Geneva was done, and we started to build the car. So then I realized that we're gonna do it from the scratch. We build our own frame, the frame for the red one. We're still kind of using it now. We just actually yesterday we We 3D scan the file because we're just starting the production now. The first customer's vehicle is 99% ready. It will deliver soon. And its frame was scanned yesterday. The last one we did like a 5 frames since then, and loads of work. So we still stick to the engine. I also got the permission from Audi to use it in writing, so I didn't need that. But there was also the story. I insisted on having the permission, so I sent them an email and asked them if I can use their car, their engine and transmission. Obviously, didn't answer. So I started to send the same email every day, one extra email. So Monday, 1 email, Tuesday, 2 emails, Thursday, 3 emails, 4 emails. And when I was like 15 emails a day, they called me. And my phone was showing maybe Quattro GmbH, the company name, because I was in contact with them. And they told me, please don't contact us anymore. You can use any Audi part, just don't show Audi logos. I said, can you give me in writing? So they sent email later on that day.
Nice.
And about a week later, they sent a letter. That company doesn't exist anymore because now it's Audi Motorsport, but it's still the same company as it used to be. So we still have permission. And then a few weeks later, I sent them email. Can you give me 2 cars so I can use them for R&D? 1 Spider, 1 Coupe, and immediately they answered no. We wish you all the best, but we can't give you any support. But to prevent me from sending 15 emails a day, they rather reply straight away because they know who I am.
Yeah.
So if you call
this guy, this guy is going to be annoying. Reply.
So if you call management, even now, maybe they still remember my name.
Not Viktor.
We know this guy. So then, and also they gave permission. I realized later on because I wanted to use the latest engine because you can have a 5.2 liter from the first generation. But I wanted always the latest one because we're selling this expensive.
Yeah.
And we want to deliver customers brand new. We don't buy used cars, put them apart, and then sell them with 1,000 miles or 5,000 miles. No, everything is brand new, 0 mileage. We buy engine, we don't buy car, we buy transmission. So that's why, what I will say? Yeah, that's why I decided to go this way, and we still stick to the engine. And the difficult part was they knew it will not work with us because this engine, without Audi support, will never work if you put it to anything else. You need proper support, you need software, you need codes, you need instructions because it has optical cables, all the latest technology. For example, if you put a gear lever into D and you open the door, it goes to N, to neutral, for safety reasons. Yeah, but we have no doors. So how am I going to tell transmission, ignore the door, it's closed? Yeah, for example, air condition, sat-nav, wipers, all these things. The immobilizer is hidden inside the transmission, and every I don't know how many milliseconds it's asking the system if everything is okay. And the answer is no. There is no door, there is no wipers, there is no air condition. Don't drive. So we have to tell him, please work. And they were quite confident it will never work because many tried before and they never succeed. Maybe you know Praga, the Czech. They also tried to use this engine for about a year. Then they throw it in the bin and they decided to go with the Nissan GTR.
Oh, wow.
Because they couldn't make it work. You only make it work in Lamborghini or Audi. That's it. And the biggest thing we did is that we control it with the BMW motorbike controls. That's absolute bastard, which shouldn't work. And then I sent a video of the car moving to people from Audi. And it was in 2021, I think. And they said, we have to meet. Next Geneva, we're going to meet, but in a good way,
Yeah.
But it never happened because there was never Geneva, and also the management changed there and stuff. But maybe it will happen now because normally we have a BMW controllers. We chose BMW because it's the best for our purpose because we have a vehicle which has no pedals. We're also the only manufacturer in the world which manufactures vehicles from the scratch without pedals. So we are what they called disabled people friendly. If somebody is on a wheelchair, for example, and you buy a car, you have to find a specialist company to change it to hand control vehicle with gas.
Oh, so BMW
accelerator on
will do that for you.
No, we did it ourselves because we control everything with the BMW controllers, and maybe they don't even know, but they have like a round thing around next to the left handle, which they use normally for controlling the menu. And we managed to use this one, for example, to change the gears. So, for example, if you put it in a drive or an automatic mode, but if you want to go manual, the same control thing, you can move it to the side, and it works as a plus or minus if you want to change the gear down and up. So that's why we decided to go with the BMW. But it took us 2 years to make engine work. All these things like radio, sat nav, Wi-Fi and stuff, and it took us about a year to make them talk to each other, like the engine, transmission, and from Audi or Lamborghini and BMW controllers. So if you accelerate, it really goes. The other challenge, which was massive, was brakes. Because if you drive a car, we have a car chassis with the car wheels. We had then, it was the world's largest ceramic brakes, 410 mil. Now they are larger. And you have to, normally in the car, you have a pedal, which you kick with your foot. You generate certain power with your
force,
foot.
Yeah.
That's why you generate that force, and you press in a certain force, and then you brake the car. So depending on how much you press the brake, it knows how much to stop the car. And now we have to do the same thing with one lever, which you control with the two fingers. Because if you drive on a motorbike, you don't go like this. You only use two fingers to control the brakes. So we have to create our own brake multipliers. So we have to multiply the power from your two fingers to equal to the power to your foot. And then you have to make it work in a different speeds, different way. So you stop the vehicle if you go 50 and you floor it, or you go 50 and you touch it, and you go 200 and you floor it, and 200 touch it. That's like really rocket science. It takes that to forever, but it works, people are... If you drive it, you don't realize, because you just drive it and use it. But if you think about how much hustle and kind of how many times my guys told me, let's use the brake, let's do the pedal. I said never. I mean, I killed the project, but I will not use it because I already told the world we will do it. It's like, just count. Okay, I changed my mind. There will be brake pedal, and it works. It just everything is doable. It just takes longer and costs more money. Takes time. And that's why it took us 10 years to come with the final product. And the other thing is we don't have sponsors, partners, it's just me. I'm the one company owner. But also I was lucky, out of these 10 years, maybe 3 years I spent looking for the people. Like I found a guy in England who was supposed to make me rolling chassis. It cost me €250,000, 200,000 pounds. It was in 2020, and I paid him that money, and he never delivered the project. We had a contract, and it says the car needs to move, and it was moving. Like you started, you did like 20 meters, and it just stopped reacting to the gas. It was working. You can accelerate. The engine was on, but there was no power. It lost the power. It wasn't moving. And he told me, I did my job. It's moving. 200,000 pounds later, you did 20 meters.
And is that
Richard,
all ECU?
If Richard is listening to this, hello, Richard. I still hate you. He called me about 2 years ago, but it was like 4 years ago. He said, today we have an anniversary. It's 2 years since the day we met. I say, I hate that day I met you. I wish it never happened. I hate you 200,000 pounds more than before. There was, now I say, yes, that's fine, because I met somebody else, which we work with now, and this company, we only work with the best in the industry, like the partners who do this, who build a rolling chassis for us, because we do this, but it's managed by the other company, all the technology, they did all this, so the steering works, so the brakes work, so the engine is communicating with the handlebars and all that stuff. It was done by somebody who is like a mostly electrician scientist, and it was like worst part of my life, because it was like 1 year. The guy was just typing in the keyboard something, and I say, another Richard. I just got rid of one in England. He was always in the workshop doing something, but it lost me so much money. This one is even worse, because he's just typing in the bloody computer. Where's my car working? And then he just say, okay, hold on. He just put some cables in the car, and that was the first time I heard it change the gears, because Richard, he only make it work. You put it in a D, but it never went to second gear. This guy suddenly started to change the gears, and you can hear the engine scream. So that was like really, really great. and we make it work. So now the thing is working. It goes over 200 miles an hour. It can brake perfectly. It looks good. The lights we have, for example, on the current model, we have lights from the Audi R8, front and rear.
Yeah.
And to make them work was difficult because they also communicate with the cameras and stuff. So everything is working now. It was most of the time was making things work before you really see them work. But now it's done, and then we recently introduced the new model, the V12. And that one is really, we only have engine from other brands. Everything else is ours. We even developed our own transmission, the lights. Even on the first model, Engler Desat, we only use engine and transmission modules, ECUs. We have 12 ECUs which we developed from the scratch. We have our own ECUs for the lights, for the fuel system. We have our own fuel system, fuel pumps, cooling system, lubrication, steering. We use car steering connecting the wheels, but then you have to control it with the bike steering. If you drive a car and you want to go from straight to the maximum, you do 2.5 turns.
Yeah.
But here you do 1/4, and you want to make same move. So there was another mission. We have to create our own steering system, which gives it multiplies times 10, times 12, times 8, depending on the speed. It's all, and it must be manual because the legislation says brakes and steering cannot be electric. It must be manually controlled for safety reasons. But now everything is working.
Yeah. How does the steering work then? Like loosely, because I would assume you'd do some sort of variable electric rack.
Yeah.
To control that with speed.
Part is electric, part is hydraulic. The part which is between the wheels is from Audi R8 or Lamborghini Huracan. And then from there to the steering bar, it's all made by us. So that's it's, if you look at it now, it doesn't look complicated, but to get to that stage, we did like 4 steerings, which were like partially working, and then you have to drive it 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. You need brave pilot who just because it's also, also to go fast, it's good. But then if you go like 100 miles an hour and you suddenly brake, you really need to have your seatbelts on. The only reason or only use we have for a seatbelt in our car is, hold on, I just have to put my, because I'm using my laptop in the charger. The only reason we have seatbelts is for a sudden stopping and acceleration purposes. Because if, for example, you have an accident and you start rolling, to be fastened to the car, it's worse than to fly away. Because if, for example, vehicles start to roll and you are attached to it, you are rolling with it, hitting the concrete. It's really bad. Imagine you have an accident next to the river or sea, and you go upside down. You drown yourself because of the seatbelt. Yeah. So that's why we have a seatbelt option. You can manually switch it off. So it works on a system which is managed by the same system is used in airbags. Okay. Yeah, so if there is an emergency, you as a pilot can switch the seatbelts off, and then you can get out, or you can have it set after you buy a car, because after you register the car, it's aftermarket option. The seatbelt will be switched off if you, for example, hit something. So just in case. But that's so seatbelts are must. We must have
as in like it will eject if you hit something.
It will, If you set it, you can switch.
You can get it to release.
You can do something on the car. You press something or pull something, and then it goes off, or you can keep it if you want. But then it can be bad. Wow! It's very hard to get this thing on rolling anyway, because the center of gravity is the engine is 12 centimeters from the ground. So even to do donuts with this is almost impossible. We have a testing driver who is like doing crazy stuff for a living on the cars, on the bikes. Yeah. And he couldn't do 360-degree turn because the wheels are in the edges, so it has a go-kart effect.
Yeah.
And the engine and transmission is so low that all the weight of the engine and transmission is only 11, 12 centimeters from the ground.
Oh, so
So
it
to
just
turn it
grips.
around, you need to generate so much power. And also in the car, you are in a seat, so you are always in the same place. But doing this here, you have to move the vehicle and keep yourself because you will go the other way.
Yeah.
So it's really safe also for this reason, unless you hit something,
Yeah.
or really somebody hits you and you don't do something stupid, you should be okay. I mean, you can have accident because it's wet or so, but there's
Yeah.
nothing. But yeah, and also the other thing is the vehicle, we call it quad bike or superquad, but it's registered as a car.
Okay.
M1. Yeah, because for the quad bikes, you have restrictions of the weight, of the power. Like, for example, quad bike can be up to 400 kilos. We are over 1 ton. There's a
Yeah.
limit speed, I think about 30 or something miles. We go over 200. These are things you can limit by the bottom when you do registration. But also the weight is something you cannot. So we decided to go away to register it as a car. But in that case, you need to have a seatbelt. For example, not many people know, but airbag is not compulsory. If you
Okay.
build the car in 2024 and you put 0 airbags in, is legal. Airbags are not mandatory, but you have to have a seatbelt. The good thing is you don't need to have a helmet, which I strongly recommend if going faster or whatever. But imagine you're driving in Monaco or somewhere in Miami, Ocean Drive.
cruising.
You want to show off, cruising 20 miles an hour. It's cool to have a glasses,
Yeah.
So that's they have to let you. I mean, I was driving it 2 months ago in Monaco, and police stopped me, and they didn't ask me for the paperwork from the vehicle because they were so shocked by what they see.
Yeah.
But they asked me, "Where's your helmet?" And I showed them the paperwork. Look, it's an M1, it's a car.
It's a car.
I don't need a helmet. But the guy wasn't stupid. He said, "Okay, where's your seatbelt?" Because he knows that the car must have a seatbelt. I say, "Oh, it's a prototype, pre-production vehicle. There is no seatbelt needed." So in Monaco, you must have a seatbelt or helmet. Choose.
Nice.
I say, "Yeah, but we are European Union, but we are not. We are Monaco." So I have to call my colleague to bring me the helmet. Yeah, so I was driving the rest of my stay. Only first day I was driving, for about 20 minutes I was driving without the helmet.
Yeah.
Until they stopped me first time. Then they stopped me another 6 times maybe.
Yeah, they're hot. In Monaco, they're hot on it, and they've got so many
But
policemen.
they're very nice. They're very nice police, I mean, I had a friends who get stopped and their cars been seized for some times because of the noise, because of you cannot do crazy stuff, I mean, you cannot do noise, you cannot do donuts and stuff. If you do this, they really take your car, you pay a huge fine. But we were stopped because they were curious with it, But we just show them the paperwork, they take some pictures for us, and it's nice because in Monaco you are used to Lamborghinis, Bugattis, Rolls-Royce. Every second car is Rolls-Royce or Bugatti, But then is this. There's the other good thing with our project that there are non-car people, like somebody who doesn't care about the cars and can be Lamborghini, can be Pagani. They just consider it car.
Yeah.
But if we hit the road, I guarantee the 100 years old deaf blind woman will turn around. What the hell is that?
Yeah, everyone's like, what?
Yeah, because you don't see
is
it.
that?
Yeah. It's nice when you see it on a show, on a stand, or so on. But if you see it on the road, that's really, really is different story. And people like, I remember I was driving once here in my town, and there was a woman with a child on a zebra crossing, And I was passing by, and I see her in the rearview mirror. She grabbed the child and started to run away. She's got maybe some aliens or somebody.
There's some crazy person coming.
Yeah, so it's different experiences, but people love it. The most important thing when you drive this, everybody smiles.
Yeah.
You make people happy. So.
What was it like the first time you drove it sort of like moderately quickly, like not like 5 miles an hour, gave it some gas?
I did. It was very hard for the first time because when we built this thing, I said the first thing, of course, I want to go drive it fast. But it was always some show ahead of us. Like we finished the first one. Oh, Geneva is in 3 months. Be careful because if something happens, don't scratch it. So I was driving normally.
But if something happens, you're going to be in a bad state as well.
I mean, you can scratch it or do something. You can scratch it. You can break some wing or something. That's fine, but then you don't have a time to fix it. When we were driving first in normal traffic, it was always one of our cars, then the Superquad, then second of our cars.
Okay, yeah.
So we try to make sure nobody comes behind us or in front of us. And that was like the first time. But normally I did like the first really speed was about 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers per hour. And I was surprised. And also like the first who confirmed it, this was Tim Burton, Shmi 150, when he was driving in 2020. It's very quickly you get used to it. When you see it first time, it's weird. You sit on it, it's a strange feeling because you have so much mass in front of you, behind you, and then there's the steering bars. So beginnings are really bit weird, but really 10, 15, 20 minutes later, you feel like you want to do crazy stuff with it. It really feels, it feels safe. Maybe it's a disadvantage because then you can do stupid stuff and things can go wrong. But I hit the wall, for example, concrete wall in about 10 miles an hour because I was fixing the brakes the day before. I finished like 5 in the morning and I forgot to get the extra air out of it. So I brake it and the car was still driving. So we hit the road like maybe 10, 15 miles an hour and we broke the 10 centimeter thick concrete wall. And on the car, I just scratched the wheel and broke one wing, which was 3D printed part, only stick with the glue. So we even had a crash test, kind of. But yeah, that was like a first time. And then we did on dyno, we did about 120 miles an hour, about 200 kilometers, 180, 200. But then we have a test driver who is really, really brave. And he did on at the airport, we did over 250. Yeah. So we never did top speed so far, I must admit. But the only reason is because we are now finishing the first customer's vehicle. Our pre-production is only rear-wheel drive, has no ESP, no ABS, which is nice for fun. Yeah. But if you, for example, hit the brake, the wheel just gets blocked. You don't get this ABS system just stops, release. Mm-hmm. So that's why we didn't go faster. And also we ran out of runway. Because you need certain meters to stop. Yeah, to stop. So we knew that this is the time. You have a sign, stop, and it was about 250 kilometers per hour. But the vehicle is capable of doing 350 kilometers, over 217 miles an hour. That's so the first one we're building now for the customers. We will also do this top speed test. Hopefully, he agreed with that. And we're building. We finished this first vehicle. And we already started 3 more because we have some orders already. And we're building 1 extra for us. So we will do some crazy stuff with our own vehicle. Plus we have this pre-production vehicle, which is great, but not for top speed.
Yeah. So on the controls, it's got like a motorbike style handlebar. Mm-hmm. You've chosen to go twist throttle rather than... Why do quad bikes have the push button rather than a twist?
No. Well, also the jet skis, they have like something.
Oh yeah, jet skis have like a trigger, don't they?
Trigger, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's it's for the safety purposes. Maybe because if you on a jet ski, you're jumping, and then you can by accident twist it. So that's the reason for a jet ski. And I think for a quad bike will be similar.
Yeah, if you let go,
because they made for off-roads, for off-roading. So you're always jumping and stuff like that. So we decided to go for a throttle because we didn't even think about why not to go jet ski way or so. Maybe jet ski will be better. I don't know. It's possible because it's controlled electronically, so we can push, whatever. Maybe on the next one we will try jet ski because it's cooler than twisted.
Yeah, and I guess you don't have to. If you're twisting, pulling people are obviously used to it, but it moves your hand around, and then pulling the brakes gets a bit different. And does the throttle? So I used to still technically own a motocross bike, and that was quite like sprung in the sense that as soon as you let go, it goes like ping, like it will flick straight back to off.
Yeah.
Is your throttle like that, or is it a bit more sticky?
No, it works exactly like when you drive a motorbike. whatever it's set. It depends how fast you twist it. Yeah, if you're twisting slowly, it accelerates as a normal car. If you twist it properly, it's like when you floor the pedal.
Okay.
No? So it's like really reacting to the way you want to drive. That's the other good thing, because in the motorbike, sometimes motorbikes, you twist the handle, but it's still, there is no so much sudden, not such a straight answer, response to it.
Yeah.
Like maybe the speed bike, the fast bikes, the latest ones, yeah. But if you buy a normal bike, it's always bike. It's not that responsive. But because it's connected with the car systems
pedal,
and car
system,
all these
anyway.
things. It's working. I don't want to say very much more, but we don't patent and we don't patent anything. We don't hide anything. But there are certain things we are working on, and they are not yet 100% finished. So we're not talking about them yet. But
and
it's
the brakes,
all working.
So normally on a motorbike, quad bike, whatever, not necessarily on a quad bike, but your left, whatever they're called, lever might be clutch.
Yeah.
Do you have a clutch? Is yours a clutch like that? Or
Normally on the first vehicles we built, there was nothing. No clutch, nothing, no lever. Normally, when the regulation says when you have a brake, you don't see it when you're in the car because you have a pedal, but behind that you have it's a two-way controller, because it's mechanical thing which can brake. So there must be like a second one, emergency one.
Okay.
So we will do, because one lever controls all front brakes. It's set in a way it should be. It generates the speed. It distributes the braking power as it needs to be distributed to the front and to the rear.
The front to the rear. Okay.
Yeah. So the second, there will be second lever because it will be the second emergency braking connection. Yeah. So in the case something happens with the right one, you have a left one. But you can brake with anyone you want. They work independently. If you press them together, it's like you press one of them. If you press right, somebody likes to do it with the left. It will be hard if you buy this one and you're a motorbike guy, and then you get back to your motorbike from your quad bike and you think you want to brake with the left one and on your motorbike is clutch.
Yeah.
Or you come from the motorbike, it's a clutch, and you brake it and then you just fly off. So that's also... it's only for safety reasons, and we don't need to do it. Like we should, but it's not compulsory. So we will talk to customers whether they want it or not. If somebody doesn't want it, so we don't put there anything, and there's no lever.
And you want to keep all the controls on the hand. You don't want to have a sort of emergency foot pedal or foot brake or anything like that.
No, not yet, because it's no point, because you're sitting in a little bit different position than on a bike. So your feet are always fully laid down. You don't step like on a motorbike. You step only on your heel, and then you control the pedals with the end of your toes. So we want to keep it that way. And also we have a touch screen. So when you have a touch screen, only basic things you control with the touch screen, like when you want to change the gears from D to N to R or to parking. If you want to type something in your sat-nav, you also have an Apple CarPlay. So if you want to do this,
nice.
This is what you do with the touch screen. Yeah, because it's also for a safety reason. But anything to do with the controlling the vehicle is on your hands, which also makes it more driver-focused vehicle. There's no touch screen like modern cars. You want to change the temperature in the car, you have to go to some display and touch it. Like that's something. My wife has a car which has this central display, and sometimes when I drive it, I realized a few times I was going from lane to lane because I was trying to change the temperature to go there, press the button, then back to steering wheel, the temperature, back to steering wheel, up, back to steering wheel. My daily driver is BMW M8, which is still driver's car, and it still has a button.
Still got some dials.
And I heard, I hope it's true, that the European Union is preparing some legislation where they will force car manufacturers again make key features buttons. So aircon and radio, I think, will be or at least the main functions like maybe volume or change the station and change the temperature. So I heard there's something like this, which will be good because these displays. I don't know what your experience is, but for me, it's good.
Oh, it's in some cars, it's horrific, and lots it's fine. And I think I'm hoping, and lots of manufacturers seem to. I know Audi went full Digi-screen, and I think is starting to come back. And VW, like a Golf or whatever, went to all on a screen. Temperature controls and stuff, like not backlit, so you couldn't see anything at night, all that sort of, I mean, like really stupid decisions.
Yes, exactly.
But they've sold no cars. So
I think because the rules are made with the people who understand it. I don't want to go that way, but if you, for example, it's like me being a surgeon, okay, you have a problem, come on, I cut your belly. It's not me, it's a doctor, I mean, should be a person who understands it. So if somebody makes the rules about the cars, should be a person who is at least driver. To me, it looks like people in Brussels don't even drive. You don't need to be car specialist. Just be driver. And you see what you just proposed is stupid, Or if you do it, then change it if you realize it's not a good idea. Because it's, they forbid us from using phone while we're driving. And then they make us use tablets while we're driving. So what's the idea?
Yeah, and
it's ridiculous.
Your phone, at least you can hold your phone in. Like, I'm not saying you should drive and hold your phone, but there's a point in time where you can just hold your phone and you know where all the buttons are. Whereas if you're driving on the motorway, 70 miles an hour, trying to touch a touch display, you're jiggling a little bit. It's quite hard sometimes. You have to sort of like brace yourself, and then whereas just hitting a few buttons is quite easy.
But you see, that's why the best cars still have this system. You see the new Bugatti Tourbillon, they beg massively analog. Even the gauge showing your battery is analog. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was cool.
It. So that's something we should go. At least we will not be buying new cars then. This. I heard this new. I never had Mercedes in my life, but I heard this new AMG 63. They did I think it was E-Class. They did 4-cylinder, 2-liter. Okay,
the C-Class.
You got 10,000 horsepower. Yeah, you got 10,000 horsepower, but 2 liters. I mean, and you want people to pay 150,000 for. Rich people don't spend money for 2 liters. Sorry, I'm not going to be rude, but that's the fact. I think you don't buy a Rolls-Royce with a 2-liter. You want V12. And that's it. I mean, I have a customer who's also my friend now. He has like 3 or 4 Rolls Royces, and he also had one. He was one of the first customers of the Spectre. He said, "Fantastic car. That's what is Rolls about: the quiet, the comfort, everything. But not for me. I need to, okay, Rolls Royce owners don't drive miles and miles, but." Electric cars
personal preference, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think
electric cars are good, but not yet. Or having a second car. Having a second car, if you drive, commute in the city, fine. I have a neighbor. I mean, normally people have one electric car as a second car. This guy has 3 cars. All 3 are electric.
Really? That's interesting.
Nobody likes him. Nobody likes him on the street. Everybody calls him bad names. Of course, if you have 3 electric cars. Nobody will ever like you. Come on.
I think what we're seeing, like with the 4-cylinder C63, I heard, and I don't know whether this is correct, but it's literally sales. I think they sold like 2 in the UK.
You know who bought them? Dealers.
Yeah,
because
dealers.
they had to buy them. Otherwise, if you buy Mercedes you are importer and you want S-Class, they tell you, okay, you have to buy 5 A-classes, 3 of those, 2 of those. So they bought them to show to people, but 0 sales.
I'd love to have that conversation. Yeah,
they're going back to V8. I heard. Yeah, the fun. So when they started this madness with small engines 2 or 3 years ago, I say you'll see they'll come back to V8. They will do. People around me say, no, I don't think so. That bad V8. When BMW 750, they have in America they have this V8. I heard, maybe it's rumor, it's coming to Europe. The Audi R8 was V6. Now you can get it V8. BMW Mercedes is coming with the V8. Cayenne, Porsche is coming. So
it's now V8.
It's coming back.
Yeah, I have an E63, which is a V8, and for me, that it sort of fits that car. Now, I could
Yeah,
see how
exactly.
in emissions and whatever down the line, you might have to downscale. But if you're trying to sell me an AMG, and and it's the top one, and it's really expensive, it's got to have what feels like an expensive powertrain in it. You
Exactly.
can't, there's just, so putting a 4-cylinder in, I'm not interested. I'll just get a 4-cylinder. If I want a 4-cylinder, I'll get the 200D or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care.
If you're after
If
consumption, get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's been quite popular in the A class and stuff like that. But if you had a more rowdy engine, people would choose that. Where it really falls apart is in the electrics, because trying to sell, and I think this is what will happen, trying to sell an AMG, like the top level AMG of an electric car, basically what you're saying is, I mean, they're all fast, so what?
Yeah.
People don't buy them because they're quick. They sort of do, but it's more like the sound and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they quick. Of
For
course,
me, anyway.
electric car is also quick, but it's like in Germany. I'm driving quite a lot in Germany, and now Germany is very slow, even in no limit
Yeah.
motorways, because people are driving electric cars and they
Yeah.
want to make sure they get to point B. So they
Exactly.
drive fast. They drive slowly. So what's the point of going? It's maybe somebody like me driving 150 miles an hour because I can, and if I run out of
and it's
fuel, I
fun.
just stop at the petrol station to fill it up. And the other thing is, I got 4.4 V8 in my car. My wife has a 2-liter mild hybrid. The consumption is same, but my car goes, and her is struggling.
Yeah.
What's the point of having the? I mean, it's a mild hybrid, not the plug-in,
Yeah.
but still, it's slower. It's ugly. It's not ugly. It's has all
Doesn't
these
sound as
advantages.
good. Yeah.
Sound is nothing on that car, but it has 11, 12 liters. I'm doing same. Of course, when I drive fast, I go double.
Yeah.
But it's in a normal driving situation, it's the same. Yeah, but enough of this. We have a
Yeah.
V12. If you noticed the V12.
Yes, I saw that you have a
Yeah.
V12. Where's the V12
Yeah.
from?
V12 from, for now, we're not saying yet where is it from, because the vehicle we introduced 2 months ago in Monaco it's a concept car, so there's no engine in there yet.
Is it naturally aspirated?
Yes, it does naturally aspirate. There are options, The V12 idea, I originally wanted to start with the V12. That was like the first Engler was supposed to be V12, but then didn't have much money, didn't have money anyway.
Yeah.
But it was so hard to get the V12, even to buy it. So we said, okay, let's start with something smaller, V10.
Yeah.
But then I said, one day I'll get to V12, And then about 2 years ago, I had a customer who told me, I want something even more unique. I want something. I said, I think the V12 is for you. And I said, yeah. And then I talked to guys, and a few months later, I think it was my birthday. They just actually those two pictures behind me, these are from that birthday, and they showed it to me, and I was like, really, I had like chills. I wanted to cry because I never told them how it should look. I told them it must be like a shark. The front face must be like a shark, and that fin on the back must be that symbolized the shark. I never told them the shape; they just came with it, and I think they matched it pretty well. So it was good. And my dog just came back. That's the V12. So now it's so the V12. I said one day we have to do the V12, and it's here now. We only will make 20 of them. 19 for sale. I'm keeping one for us for our showroom. And the base we promote this car, and we will deliver as it's all about number 12. V12, 1200 horsepower, 1200 kilograms, 1200 newton meters of torque, and the price is 1.2 million. And that was the fin from the shark.
Yeah.
But the standard vehicle will be 800 horsepower, naturally aspirated, rear wheel drive. And then if you want to achieve your 1200 horsepower, we will give you electric motor in front.
Okay.
Which gives you another 400 horsepower. You're getting 1200. You're getting a hybrid. Another advantage of this concept is that big cities like London, Paris, Frankfurt, Munich. From some of them already started, some of them will in 1 or 2 years. They will completely forbid cars in the center other than electric or hybrid.
Yeah.
So this vehicle, I mean, the first customer vehicle should be delivered maybe in 2 or 3 years. So you will be able to drive with this thing in the city. But the thing is, we sold few of them already. And I asked all the people if they want this option. And they said, no, I rather sacrifice 400 horsepower. I sacrifice front-wheel drive, but I don't want electric, So we'll see. I hope we will make at least one of them. We will make one for us. The one which is for us will be this one. But I hope I don't hope, I'm just curious to see if somebody will decide to go that way. I'm not saying it's bad. Also batteries will be not a big issue, will be only so you'll be able maybe to drive 20, 30 kilometers, not more on electric mode. We don't want to achieve 100 kilometers range. There's no point. No. We just want to have it there for the power you need. It will be similar way like a Superquad in Lamborghini, so it's always there. You never run out of power, and it's electric. You can drive electric. So it's something like that. But the standard will be 800 horsepower rear-wheel drive. And I think it will give lots of pleasure to the people, and you will enjoy it.
Nice. So naturally aspirated 800 horsepower V12. I mean, I can think of a production car that has something like that in it.
We will. The donor, I mean, not donor. It's original brand. They have a little bit less horsepower. Yeah, it's more than 700. I can tell you. But that's the plan B. Let's say. We know we can do it. We know it will do the job. It's excellent engine. It's my personal preference. But we're also talking to Lamborghini and talking to 2 more brands, because they are not better engines, but maybe better known, or people like them because of their heritage, let's say. I'm not saying they're worst, I'm not saying they're better, because it's V12, any V12 is good. But we're talking to them, and if it won't work, we stick to our plan B, or plan A, I never had plan A, because if plan B. Because if you have a plan B, it means you already count that the plan A will not work. So what for to have a plan B?
Plan A.
Plan A, Actually, it's not me who said that. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not my clever stuff. So that's the thing. With the V12, we are very proud of having our own gearbox. The gearbox is very unique because it's the world's smallest and lightest. We are just finishing development, and at this moment we are 38 kilograms. I think Koenigsegg, which is very, very light, is about 80 kilograms, 70, 80, I don't know. So we are half the weight, which in the car industry, to save a few grams is success.
That's significant.
And saving 50% of the weight is impossible. But the reason we achieve such a small weight, one of the reasons, is we use only titanium and only premium materials, which are very expensive for high production, for high volume production. So that's why when we're going to produce only 20 of them, we can customer can afford to pay for an expensive gearbox. And also we have a special technology which I'm not allowed to talk about, because it's a guy who invented this for us. But we will give all the information once the gearbox is tested and in production, which helped us to reduce the size and the weight. It's really small. It's like about 35 centimeters by 35 centimeters by about 20 to 30. So it's really, really tiny thing and light. And it's capable of 1,400 Newton meters and 1,600 horsepower. So if we do 1,200, is still within its abilities and should survive.
Can you tell me what type of gearbox it is? Is it a sequential, or is it?
It. Oh yeah, it's a sequential. It's automatic 8-speed dual clutch.
Okay,
but it's made by us. It's not like from somebody else. We made it from scratch. At this moment, it's being tested in some race cars. One of them is BMW M4. Another one is Lamborghini Huracan. They're testing our gearboxes there because this gearbox was developed by Technical University Faculty of Mechanical Engineering in Slovakia,
Okay.
in the town where I'm from, Košice. So they developed this gearbox originally for racing cars. And they tried to test it in the racing cars. When you put the gearbox in the race car, it lasts for 2,000 kilometers, maybe less, and you have to change the things.
Yeah.
And this one was about 8,000 now. Every 2,000-3,000 they open it, but everything is okay, so they close it back and put it back in the car, and it still works. So 8,000 kilometers in a race car is like 50 a normal one.
Yeah.
Even if you drive fast. So we starting end of this year testing of the gearbox in one of our vehicles. We want to test at least for 6 months to 1 year in a normal traffic, on the racetracks.
Yeah, because I guess
extreme
that's
cold, extreme heat, and then
the flip side, isn't it? Like running in a race car is tough, but it's it's a very specific type of running. It's like flat out changing at top of revs, whereas low speed is a different scenario. Yeah. Right. Well, I normally wrap these up with 5 questions.
Okay.
Are you ready? Do you have a most memorable driving trip or journey?
Most memorable? Yeah, maybe it was like any car or on this one?
Anything.
It was 2 years ago, I think. We had a bunch of friends, 2, 3 times a year. We go on a road trip. I've got my R8. Other friend has a Porsche. Other one has a Bentley. Other one has a Ferrari, Lamborghini. It's like 4 or 5 of us. And it was a trip. We went from Slovakia, from my town Košice. We drove to Budapest. We stayed there for a day. Then we drove to it was Sofia in Bulgaria. No, it was Skopje in Macedonia, in Serbia, and then we drove to Sofia in Bulgaria. That was nice, you drive 500 kilometers with your friends and stay in a hotel, have fun. Next day, you go to the hotel, drink something, eat something, have fun. But then, it was the first ever car show in Munich. It was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when the Frankfurt died, and they did it in Munich. Yeah. And then I was driving with my R8 from Sofia to Munich. That was like 1,500 kilometers. That time I was a little bit. I'm still not a skinny person, but I was even heavier. And my R8 has a sport seats, these proper ones. So when I came to Munich on one go, 1,500 kilometers, I literally went from the car on my leg. I was crawling on the ground at the petrol station. I have to stop like 300 kilometers before the Munich and sleep on one of those hotels in the petrol station. When you check in like when you go to drive in, just put your car, the key drops out, and you go to the hotel. And there was like 5,000 kilometers in 1 week, and almost 2,000. 1,800 or something was from Sofia to Munich, and then from Munich back to my town, 1,000 kilometers. So that was most memorable. I never forget that one. I really have to go to massage the special one because my lower part was damaged. That was really, really painful. But that was like driving. Really 5,000 kilometers in R8 in 1 week. Spider, really, really nice. Yeah. I have a first Spider ever sold to customer, actually, because it was the first Spider ever built for production. And it was like 3 years. It was in Ingolstadt, in Audi. And I bought it 3 years old with 270 kilometers on the clock. I was the first owner. For about 2 years, the car even wasn't registered. So I was the first owner, but the original owner was still Quattro GmbH, the manufacturer. And it's the first ever. It has a proper sound. It's a Spider. It's really, really cool. I still have it.
Yeah, nice car. Nice car.
Love it.
If you could only drive one sports car for the rest of your life, and you have like something cheap on the side that you could maybe put family in or whatever, what would it be?
Like what? Like no limit money or cheap one?
Yeah, no limit. But you've only got one of them, and that's it forever.
For the rest of my life, to Tesco everywhere.
Yeah.
No other car.
Yeah, you got one cheap one, like really cheap.
Okay. So then it will be most probably it will be Koenigsegg.
Oh, which one?
Yeah. I didn't drive any yet. I studied it, and I talked to people who did drive it. This is message to Christian for Koenigsegg, please. Yeah. call my number, so call me and I'll go to drive the thing. I don't know. Maybe Yesco.
Yeah.
Maybe
And would you
Yesco
have?
or 1-to-1. 1-to-1 is a bit hard, I heard, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you had the Yesco, would you have the Attack or the? I can't remember what the other one's called. The Aero one. There's one that's like
Absolute.
slippy, and there's one with
Absolute.
loads of downforce.
Yeah, one is Absolute, one is Attack. I think
Yeah.
Absolute. I don't know which one is not the track version, but the other one.
Yeah.
Because
It looks
I
cool.
reckon, I'm not sure, I reckon the track version is a bit harder. So I'm not big. I know the sports car are always harder, but yeah.
They're
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's the probably one I would like to have. Or maybe Bugatti, because there's more like drivable car. But yeah, the Koenigsegg it's cool. It's nicer.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. What do you think is the most undervalued car at the moment? What should be worth more?
What is the most undervalued car at the moment is the one I have. It's BMW M8.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when I bought this car brand new 2 years ago, the retail was about €200,000. I bought it for 120, brand new. Yeah, without
Yeah.
VAT from other
Yeah, yeah.
country where it's very high, from Hungary where VAT is 27%. So there's also the other reason. But really, really very fast. I was thinking about selling it because I wanted convertible. I have a Grand Coupe.
Yeah.
And the money they were offering me was like really like, now the car has 50,000 kilometers. I am the one owner, and they offer him like half,
Yeah.
and the car is like really all individual. Everything is nice, and the car is excellent because they have 4 doors. You can go 300 something kilometers per hour. You have folding back seats. You have a big boot. The car looks good.
Yeah.
Everybody looks because there are not too many, because to buy it is too expensive.
Yeah.
So people prefer to buy Porsche or something because it's. So I think it's undervalued car, and it should be valued more because I'm trying to sell mine.
I like
But if I want to buy a new one, I would tell you maybe I'll buy same. Maybe I'll buy
Yeah.
convertible. Maybe I buy not coupe, but maybe convertible. I don't know.
The-
If you ask me what to buy now, new, and not like brand new, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
new AMG GT, the coupe. That's really. I never had
quite
Mercedes. I seen that car. I went for a test drive. It's really, really. I like that. It's really. That's the car. Maybe I want it like as my next daily.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would probably be another depreciation machine.
Yeah. You can buy 2 years old car for half the price. So
Exactly.
But now
Exactly.
you buy it new. It's really crazy price. So we have to wait a bit.
Yeah. Let someone else take the hit. What is the most interesting car to you at the moment? What are you Googling? What are you looking up?
Most interesting.
Maybe technology, whatever.
I like very much a Bentley Mulsanne EWB. Extended wheelbase. That's the car I really, really like. Or I'm getting older. Or a Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
It's still. I said to myself, if I sell 5 Superquads, I buy myself a Rolls-Royce. But mostly
Nice.
I buy it for a company to drive customers around.
Okay. Yeah.
So because the customer's car, we always have to hire a nice car. Okay, I have my nice cars, but it's if you want luxury, you need a Rolls Royce or Bentley. So maybe the Rolls Royce, they still have this. They have everything we talk about today, what we like and we don't like on the new cars. It has a good engine. It's comfortable. It has a proper controls, no displays. It gives you. The driving feeling of the Rolls Royce is a little bit like. Too soft, too nice. But I like, for example, very much driving my M8. Yesterday I did 400 kilometers on it. In 2 days, I'm going to again do about 1,000 kilometers on it. So it's a good car also for long trips. It's like a sporty car, but it's still comfy. So
Yeah. I think some manufacturers seem to be, for me, Aston Martin should fit that sort of role. And I almost think, Bentley as well. I think they sort of try to do, in my eyes, they try to be, especially Aston Martin, a bit too sporty. Like all the new Astons, I'm going to ignore, let's just say DBS or DB12, that's the newest one. All the reviews, and I've not driven one, so I can't 100% comment, but they say it's quite firm, it's quite aggressive. And in my eyes, that sort of car, its number one job is like cruising around and
Should be
carrying some
GT.
luggage. Like, it needs to do that. It's a GT. It should be really comfy and refined on a long journey. They don't seem to like be prioritizing that.
Yeah, I never liked Astons before. Last ones I like very much. They're really cool. They're nice. Like I never liked Mercedes, but the last one is really nice, the GT, but only coupe version. That's the one I like. But Astons, they're also not that expensive. I mean, they lots of money, but comparing to other cars, like for example, I think if you ask me what's the most overestimated car, I think it's Ferrari Puro Sangue. I mean, it's a nice car, yeah, V12, naturally aspirated.
It's
but come on, you can get Mazda MCX-5, whatever it is. It looks very similar,
Yeah.
and they ask crazy money for it, like whatever. It's like 600,000-700,000 over the price is 200K. You know, it's like it's not. I think it's. I mean, it's Ferrari. It's V12. You know, I don't want to be shot because if you say anything bad about Ferrari, you become the most hated person on the planet.
Nah.
But I think that's too much. You know, I mean, it's still or new Lamborghini Revuelto. You know, when I was in Italy. I was in Pagani's factory 3 months ago, introducing my V12. It was like a pre-introduction before the official introduction in Monaco.
Yeah.
I went to Pagani, and there were like 50 Pagani customers. We have a nice relationship with them, and I introduced my car there. And I seen them on the road. 1 second. So I seen them on the road, and they you don't realize it's coming. You just see it in front of you. There's no sound.
Really?
If you start the Revuelto, just
yeah.
There's no the initial startup noise. It's nice. The design, you know, Italians, they're always best in design. But the car, you know, and it's 1,000 horsepower. Yeah, why not? But it's electric. It's plug-in. You know, the new replacement for Huracan is V8, which is good. But again, hybrid.
They're quite high revving though.
Yeah, 10,000. I mean,
Which is a lot.
It will cost. I don't know the price, but I reckon it will be 30% more than Huracan. Why?
Yeah.
It's not 30% better car. It's 30% worse car because there's the hybrid. I don't know how it behaves when you run out of batteries. Maybe it never happens, but to people who drive fast like me, you know, I drive always 70 miles an hour on the motorway.
Of course.
Yeah. But it's I don't know. I like very much 760. I had M760 Li. That was my favorite car. Twice.
Oh, nice.
But the new one is.
Yeah.
The world's gone.
It's gone a bit crazy. I think in that performance, high performance sort of top end of, you know, supercars and up. A friend of mine has a 765 LT, McLaren. And every time something new comes out, like when the SF90 came out from Ferrari, and they're like, it's 1,000 horsepower and blah, 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 blah. And you look at the performance numbers that it actually does, and it's really quick. But the 765 LT is basically as fast with whatever it is, 700. I don't know what is it 765 PS? I don't know.
Maybe.
But it's not 1,000. It just weighs 1,200 kilos. And the experience of having a 1,200 kilo car that's got 700 plus horsepower versus a car that's 1,600 and has 1,000, like the 1,200 kilo car is just going to be better.
Yeah. It's like a way, you know. It's like like V12. Yeah, it's a heavy engine. Like for example, the big, the good comparison is I used to have 760 BMW and 750 BMW. Yeah, 760 of course V12. We all love it and so on. But if you go on the country roads, 750 is much better because the front is too heavy. You know, so it's the same thing. You can have more horsepower, but you getting weight. You know, the new M5. I think that car should be the factory which is making them should be exploded. You know, put on fire.
What, 1,800?
Ridiculous.
2-point-something tons?
It's 2.8 tons. It's more heavy than Bentayga, which is
crazy.
Elephant.
Yeah.
I saw the car on the Goodwood. You see it it was like you know, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
It didn't shoot. It was the way of Rolls-Royce goes, you know. Okay, Rolls-Royce, yes, because it's a heavy car and it's meant to be like that. It
Yeah,
just
that's fine.
go. But it doesn't look good. Okay, it looks good. It doesn't look bad, but it's
I
too
think
heavy.
it's a
It's the
real
heaviest
problem.
car ever. It's the heaviest car you can buy now. I think it's the heaviest car.
That's
And they
insane.
say it's more horsepower, but at the end it's less.
Yeah,
And the cars we're talking like Ferrari, Lamborghini, yeah, they're getting more and more horsepower, less and less cylinders, but more horsepower. I don't know. I don't think
yeah,
it's good. Not my cup of tea. Maybe somebody
yeah.
else's. But normal cars, like we're talking BMW, I don't know,
Audi, whatever,
Mercedes,
Mercedes. Yeah,
Audi, they becoming because the how you say technology should be getting better and better every year, but they're getting worse because cars are getting heavier. They should be getting lighter because every time
yeah,
when you get a new model from a certain car, then the newer model was lighter, faster, and economical on the fuel. Now
yeah,
you're getting new car which is heavier, slower, and juicier.
yeah.
So
It's
why the
crazy.
evolution is going back? It's going backwards. You should not be going forward. You're going back. You're becoming worse. You want to become better. No, you want to get
Yeah,
further, not going back. And that's what's happening. I mean, like we have a car in the family which is the new mild hybrid, and it has 40% more consumption than the same car previous model.
that's crazy.
What's the point?
What is the
No, yeah,
point?
it's
Exactly.
newer. So when you are on the road, people say, "Oh, here's a new car." But I'm not buying car for people to see I have a new car. I want
Yeah,
to enjoy. Okay, there's a
yeah.
family car. So I don't care. It's just to move us as a family around. But still,
Shouldn't get
it's
worse.
shouldn't get worse. And like RS6, that used to be a long time my favorite car. I had two models before. I don't have a latest one. I was driving one. I was driven in the latest one once because my partner in Germany has it, and yeah, fast. That's it. It
Yeah,
doesn't give me any
no
erection
fizz,
or
no
doesn't give me this
fizz.
feeling. Yeah, no feeling. It's a nice car. It goes fast. It's maybe some noise that is,
Yeah,
and it has less horsepower standard as the previous one. Maybe it goes faster.
it's interesting. I drove the Panamera Turbo SE hybrid, and I drove it. So I have an E63 estate, and I drove that car, and I drove it back to back with a Taycan Turbo, and ignoring the electric part of it, the Panamera Turbo SE hybrid. I just don't know why you would ever buy that car. The Taycan was a much better driving experience. It felt much lighter. But if I was buying a Panamera and excluding any legal benefits or whatever you can get for it being a hybrid, it's like 250 kilos heavier than the one that doesn't have the hybrid. So I would just get the one that wasn't the hybrid because it feels so heavy. Like
And
the
you carry
front of the
extra
car
luggage.
with the
Yeah,
hybrid feels
yeah,
so heavy, and then you're carrying that weight around the whole time.
yeah. All the
It was
time
a
you
real
carry it.
example of like, this is not a great solution.
It's like extra. It's like extra. What do you call it? Extra crew, or whatever. You
Yeah,
are four people in the car with the luggage.
you got another
That's
two.
let's say another two. Yeah, so we have a six-seater now
Yeah,
with
exactly.
imaginary two people. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I hope maybe it will happen. I have a feeling it will happen that the car manufacturers there was now the second generation of the cars like new M5 or new Mercedes E
Yeah,
or A8 or whatever will be maybe more to the past. Speaking
yeah.
maybe more cylinders, maybe less displays. Sound, I don't know what's the point of giving sound restrictions on a car. What's the point? Who you harming by big noise? I'm not saying you make your daily driver 1.2 liter should be sounding like V8. Yeah, let's make it quiet. But why would you buy 700-800 horsepower without the sound?
Yeah.
I
You can always
mean,
put an exhaust on those things, though.
yeah, but then
That's
you
an
lose the
easy
warranty.
solution.
You buy a car nowadays. All the cars have 5 years warranty. You change the exhaust, you lose it. So why you buy a new car? It
You lose a
depends.
bit
Yeah,
of it. You only in
depends.
It depends. There's a lot of it
Yeah,
depends, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm with you.
I
Like
went. I went to
sports
my
cars should sound
BMW.
good.
I went to my BMW dealer. I said, "I want to change the exhaust of my car," and they asked me, "Which one are you getting?" I said, "I don't know." So tell us which one you were getting, and they will tell you if you can have it. Sorry, I'm an adult. I don't have to
Yeah,
ask my mom to go out. I'm not
yeah,
asking you what I'm putting on my car. You
Yeah.
tell me if this one is good or this one is bad, or I'm allowed to do this. No, so no,
And
I
I
mean
think
it's
that's because I know
okay.
a few people in that sort of space, and it seems to be as long as you're not, as long as you can pass the emissions and stuff, so you're not removing cats and stuff like that. The manufacturer shouldn't really be able to have a go at you
But
for.
you're removing the cuts because now
Okay, if you
you
remove the
used to have
cats, then
you used to have 2 cuts before, now you have 6 or 5 or whatever. You know.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah,
we work with Capristo. Maybe you know them. It's a German
yeah,
company which makes exhaust. They do all our exhaust standard. And I seen they, like, for example, there was a guy who came with the XM, BMW XM. It's
yeah,
a huge SUV with the loads of power, and he was
yeah,
changing the exhaust. And when
yeah,
they took the old one off, the 6 cuts, the
yeah,
more cuts than exhaust.
yeah,
Cuts
yeah,
after
yeah.
cuts before cut, it's ridiculous, you know. And he said, "Yeah, I lost my warranty. The car was new. It was on a trade plate,
Wow,
German plate plates. I don't care. I lost the warranty anyway. Service is cheap, but I want the sound. So
there you
that's
go.
the way, you know. But it's ridiculous because only in Europe, you know, rest of the world, they don't have these restrictions. You know.
I I'm applaud some of it. Like I like the emissions, like in towns not being ridiculous and stuff like that. Final question: 5 car garage, unlimited value, has to fit into your life. So you might have something that's a daily or whatever. And
5 cars in my garage. Oh, yeah. Definitely one will be Rolls-Royce.
Mhm.
Maybe something convertible, maybe Dawn, or
Nice,
maybe
that is a nice car.
Phantom. Yeah, one will be Rolls-Royce, one will be Koenigsegg.
Hmm.
Can I? Is my annual Superquads also included?
You can have one of there if you want. It's
Yeah.
one of
Okay.
your
Thank you
5.
very much. So maybe we have V12 with me because
Yeah.
that's something really really what I want. We are free. For maybe like SUV. I'm thinking Urus is old fashioned now. Maybe I like the Aston Martin 707.
Yeah.
That's a nice
Nice.
one. Or what's the other one? Um, yeah, maybe that Aston Martin, and
One more.
maybe something, some young timer, maybe what I seen there. You know what I like very much? The Maybach,
Mm.
2004, but 62, and I'm not sure if I want with the wall or without the wall. Yeah. So if I have
Yeah.
that, I will have a Rolls-Royce Dawn,
Yeah.
not Phantom. Yeah.
Okay.
There's ugly
Nice.
car. There's ugly car. There's Phantom, but Phantom the Maybach,
Yeah.
but it's
Pretty
cool.
chilled.
It's really you go somewhere, you go with that. And you know what I want? I wanted, if not that, then I would have one of those vans like
Oh
Klassen,
yeah.
Klassen.
Viano, but like
Yeah, Sprinter.
sprinter. Yeah.
Yeah, the Klassen. It's a German
Yes.
company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we are friends now with Paul Klassen, and yeah, that's one of my cars definitely. Because if you want to take it with the family or friends and go for a trip, that's the one you want. You lie down, have a coffee, drink. Yeah, that's the one.
That is actually like real luxury. Something like that. Like it's actually so much above.
It
I
is.
think
It is.
your roles is the thing, but like if you really want to go baller, a van.
Yeah. I talked to one friend of mine who is like Bentley and stuff. Say, you don't want to drive in the van. It's not van anymore. It's like
Yeah, look at the
you
inside.
you buy a private jet. Why are you buying a private? It's not a plane.
Yeah,
It's a hose or
it's a small
whatever you call
plane.
it, tube. It's a tube. And they don't look different. They all same. So why you don't? Yeah, that's. It's not that quiet. Maybe Okay, they change the suspension. It's softer. It's nicer drive. But the comfort, you walk there, you really stretch properly, because even if you're in Maybach, you're always there only on one seat.
Yeah,
But there you can have really fun. So that's something I would really like.
you can have your
I used
fridge,
to
big
want,
TV.
yeah, I wanted to convert. Maybe one day I'll do it. Convert the bus to
Hmm.
this camper
Oh right.
thing. Have one super quad under there.
Yeah,
And then you have like a 2 bedroom, maybe very luxury
nice.
stuff. That's something I really, really want. One of those, and then spend a year on the road or so.
That would be
And
great for
yeah,
going to the shows and stuff. Like
yeah, Parking
ignoring
is a
that.
big
Like,
problem, but other than that, you're okay. But you can have a small car with you or a motorbike, a scooter. You can go around.
nice. Well, I think that's a good selection.
Hmm.
Thanks very much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.